meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present, and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Brian Harbison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for keeping your hand on this city. And God, we just pray as we begin a new year that you will give us the wisdom and knowledge we need as we move forward. As a city, I pray that you will just grant wisdom to this council today with the decisions they have to make, that you'll bless our mayor and his administration with the guidance and direction they need as we move day by day. We just pray that we'll keep our focus on you, and we just pray that you'll continue to keep your hand on us, and we'll give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work sessions and city council meeting held on December 29th.
So, second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of December 24th through the 31st.
So move. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor.
Miss Valerie Shannon, you here? Would you like to come up, please? Whereas Northeast Alabama's success depends upon every child succeeding and reaching their full potential in life, and these objectives are more easily met when young people possess a solid foundation of support that will help them become well-educated, confident, and productive citizens. Mentoring is a proven, effective strategy that helps children and young adults by matching them with a caring, responsible adult who can provide guidance and directions. Mentors help build character, encourage success, boost confidence, lift expectations, and inspire young people to do their best. Mentors serve as friends, role models, teachers, and sources of stability and support during a critical time in a child's life. Research shows that mentoring has beneficial and long-term effects on youth by increasing their academic engagement and decreasing the likelihood of substance abuse and risky behavior. Mentoring strengthens the community, economic, and social well-being by helping youth fulfill their potential while helping maintain healthy families and promoting a more vibrant community. Hundreds of local children are in need of a caring adult mentor in their lives. In closing, this mentoring gap will take more investment, partnerships, and volunteers who are ready to make a difference in a child's life. Whereas the National Mentoring Month is an opportunity to raise public awareness on the importance of mentoring, recognize the dedicated individuals who serve as mentors, and encourage more citizens to help build a brighter future for Alabama's youth. Therefore, I, Sherman Guyton, the Mayor of the City of Gadsden, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2016 as National Mentoring Month and recognize the importance of mentoring and encourage our local citizens to volunteer to serve as mentors in their communities.
Thank you.
I think she wants to get a picture.
Thank you so much for this. We are in our 34th year of business as Big Brothers Big Sisters. We now serve 5 counties, DeKalb, Cherokee, Etowah, Calhoun, and Talladega counties, and we love our work and love this program. And thank you so much for honoring us with this proclamation. We always need mentors. Last year we were Proud to serve 227 children across these counties, and we still have kids waiting on our waiting to be match list, so we're always in need of mentors. But thank you for this, and appreciate it very much.
I want to say a few words on this topic that bothers me all the time, actually. You know, our school system here, we have a really good school system, a lot of good schools, a lot of good elementary schools especially, and I'm speaking from a little experience. I used to be a teacher and a coach, but my wife is the guidance counselor for the Etowah County Alternative Schools, and she tells me a lot of things that I didn't know, and some of them I did, but you know, you go to school, the kids go to school, they get some breakfast, they get lunch. In the afternoon, the kids go into the EDGE program from 3 to 4 at most of the community centers that we own. And then there's some who can't pay the $25. So when they come out to the gym, the ones who go from 3 to 4 to do homework and get help from teachers, then our Parks and Rec people take the other kids into and let them have a study hall and help with homework and do stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, it boils down to the parents. You see Ben Carson's life story, his mother couldn't even read. And they would do their homework and she would look at it and say, no, I think you need to work on it some more or do a report. They didn't know she couldn't read till they got in their teen years. And but we've got every resource just about available, but somewhere along the line, the parents have got to get involved. And when they get home, if they've had that at school, I think for about another good hour and a half, they need to be doing the help them with homework, help them learn to read and write. Because if they get in the 8th grade and they can't read and write, they get embarrassed, they get in trouble, they end up quitting, or they end up getting kicked out or worse. So everybody that's watching this out there, and I'm not an expert, but I know what I'm talking about, the parents have got to have a good hour and a half or two of reinforcement on everything that's happened at school that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate that, and amen to those comments. There are a lot of armchair quarterbacks relative to what should be done, but I think most people are very passionate about students. Most people are very passionate about their outcomes and what it is we're doing in our school system. So we do appreciate those comments. So those are very spot on for sure. Unfinished business. These are ordinances adopting the 2015 editions of the International Residential Existing Building, Plumbing, Mechanical, Building, Fuel, Gas, Fire, and Property Maintenance Codes, and the 2014 edition of the National Electrical. Public hearings were conducted last week, and these ordinances were presented for the first reading. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt all 9 ordinances.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt all 9 ordinances, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I oppose.
We have 1 vote of opposition. Motion carries to adopt the 9 ordinances.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 1921 Ewing Avenue in District 2. The state of Alabama and Sheila Walker being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case in January of 2014. There have been no improvements, there are no permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance. Thank you.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1107 Brentwood Drive in District 3. Robert Haley Jr., care of Joe S. Duncan being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in November 2014. There have been no improvements, there are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution today to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1631 Airport Boulevard in District 5. Maria D. Arellano being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in March of 2014. There were building permits taken out in March of 2014 and one taken out in January of 2015. There are no visible improvements to the property. We're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to abate the nuisance.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1804 Broadway in District 5. Richard N. Carden and AmSouth Regions Bank being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Yes, sir, I would. I'm Richard N. Carden.
Sir, if you would, please state your name and address.
My name's Richard Neal Carden. I live in Oldhamsville, Alabama, 3575 Mountain View Road.
Okay, thank you.
I use this building as a storage building. It's a concrete block building, and I had vinyl siding put on it. I went by there today, the vinyl siding pretty dirty, and it looks like the back facial has blowed off. About 6 months ago, we had a storm up here, it might have been 8, and a tree fell across 2 of the rooms that was on the building, and they was added on after the building was built. Well, I removed the rooms, and it left a concrete slab, and the outside wall is concrete and got some wood up there, but it's not finished yet. I was planning on putting new varnish around it and finishing it and retiring one day and probably opening up a store there, since it's a concrete building with a flat roof on it. The building itself is a pretty steady building because, like I said, it is concrete block. It's got a new roof on it and the vinyl siding, I can wash it. But I've used it for storage, and it's almost full. And I pay my taxes, and and cut the grass all myself. But like about a month ago, I figured it was too cold to cut grass, but apparently not. So that's where I stand with it. I need the building for storage, and like I said, I do pay my taxes and try to keep it up. And I removed them 2 rooms that they was added on, and I took them off, and I got to do some more work to the exterior, but the building itself is pretty sound.
Did anybody contact you about this building?
No, sir. I got a letter the 26th of December telling me I need to be here today. First I've heard.
Thank you, sir.
Is this in a B1 or 2?
That,
Not
actually,
residential, is it?
that building's actually off of, where South 11th Street is, where that San Ann service station used to be. If I'm not mistaken, it's right behind there on Broadway. I could be wrong, though.
Is it residential?
We rezoned that, didn't we, Brian, one time? Or did we?
5 years ago, y'all gave me the building back as a commercial building.
Was it on B1 or 2?
I'm not really sure which one it was. Y'all gave me a little book I could go by to make it what I needed to make it, what I could put in there and everything. So I just made it a storage for my stuff.
That's the reason I was asking.
Yes, sir.
I knew in a residential, you probably couldn't use it as a storage building, but
Right.
B1 probably. I don't know.
I came to 4 hearings to get that done. And all it is a service station that was built in 1953.
Thank you.
So what do you need to make this building be what the city wants it to be?
I need to know what the city wants me to do.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in opposition? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, there was a notice that was filed June the 19th, 2014, in the name of Richard Carden. I'm looking at a recorded copy here in the probate office. We started our case in June of 2014. This property involves a commercial building that, as you can see in the picture, is not secure. Very visible from South 11th Street. There have been no improvements, there are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate the nuisance.
Mr. Harbison, did anybody send him a notice or anything?
Yes, he was sent a notice to, according to the tax assessor's office, the last mailing address. And then also, like I said, we're required by law to record that notice, and that was done.
What was the address of the last address that you had up for him?
$120 Wilk Circle, Midfield, Alabama, 35228, what tax assessor's office provided us.
Is that yours also? Did you receive that?
Brian, when you condemn a building, the gentleman here says that he comes every couple of weeks and cuts the grass. When you condemn that building and put that sign on there, he should have seen that also, correct?
The notice. What is the pleasure of the council?
I have a question for him again. If I give you 60 days, what could you bring this thing up to what needs to be done?
You need to see this again.
I mean, I can see, but if we can keep a building in this town, we keep tearing them down, and we gotta keep something, or else we're all gonna be out in the streets, except for people that don't live here. And people that don't live here don't have a problem with tearing our houses down. Well, it's in my district, and I moved to give him 60 days to get with the building department and do what needs to be done.
Second.
We have a motion and second to table for 60 days. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 60 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 60 days.
Just get with Mr. Harbison so you can find out what you need to do.
Yeah, that's
That's
him.
him right there.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 2201 Chancellor Avenue in District 6. FNA NP LLC and the heirs of Virginia Barfield being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Come on up, sir. Sir, if you would, just give us your name and address, please.
I'm Clifford Barfield, 2023 McLean Circle in Gadsden, over in North Gadsden. I'm the widow of Virginia Barfield. And we have been working on this property from time to time. I know we should have paid a little bit more of attention to it probably, but with the death of my wife and different things like that, it's kind of hindered me a little bit. But I had made a deal with the lady she wanted to rent to own the house once it was completed, and they were going to do her and her boyfriend was going to do a lot of the work. Well, they went over and just totally made a teetotal mess out of it. And we've been going over trying to get some of that straightened out. Now, I know the yard's got to be cleaned up a little bit better, and I did get a letter about probably 2 or 3 months ago. I don't have the letter here with me, but from the city about the old building material and stuff that was out there in the yard. And we hauled off one big trailer load of that over to the dump around Glen Cove. And there's still a little bit more that's got to be done. And there's still some work got to be done in the house. But if you can give me 60 days to have it done, and they give me a list of what they want me to do other than the yard, I've got some help now that can help me, or they will help me, and they've assured me they will help me. And we will get the house done like it's supposed to be done on the outside.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in opposition? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started this case in April 2014. There have been some new windows installed, as you can see in the pictures. Permit was taken out in July of 2014. Other than that, no improvements. We're asking for a resolution today to abate this nuisance.
Mr. Barfield, you've come before the council before, hadn't you? On some more houses you've had?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 302 Kaiser Street in District 6, the state of Alabama, and Cecil Davis being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in June of 2014. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
That's a no-brainer.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes, you can see by this picture here, if we don't go ahead and tear it down ourselves, a good little windstorm will push this one down for us.
Clerk, would you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 906 North 33rd Street in District 7, and McCoy being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, we started our case in April 2014. There was a building permit taken out that month. There have been no improvements. We're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Yeah, I move to abate.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 1315 Tuscaloosa Avenue in District 7, Geneva Crook being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Mr. President, based on recent improvements, we're asking that this case be tabled for 30 days. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, what is the pleasure of the council?
I ask for a 30-day table.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next public hearings are resolutions assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. These are items, agenda items 17 through 21. This is for demolition that has already been performed, and we have 5 locations. I'm going to read the addresses and names, and anyone who wishes to speak about any of these may come forward. 2531 Dublin Street in District 2, $3,490.40, Lily M. Smallwood. 511 Abercrombie Street, District 3, $2,514.92, State of Alabama, and Greta Mostella. 639 Abercrombie Street, District 3, $2,239.92, State of Alabama, and Samuel Wyatt. 421 Evans Street, District 3, $3,964.92, State of Alabama, and the estate of Myrtle Lovejoy. 516 Evans Street, District 3, $3,039.92, El Fido Avale and Eulalia Tomas. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to any of these resolutions? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt all 5 resolutions.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any additional discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt all 5 resolutions, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Can I say something? The properties that they're putting the lien on, the city doesn't want the property. You can come up here and get with Mr. Brian Harbison, and they'll set up a payment plan so you can pay, so the city won't have to take control of the property. That's all I want to say. Thanks.
Item number 22 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Alabama Bass Federation. This is for the city to sponsor a national and state fishing tournament at Coosa Landing on October 28th through the 29th. The amount is $6,000. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item number 23 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Highland Technical Services, Inc. This is for environmental services at the Gadsden Air Depot, and the amount is $8,010. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have two, please. I'd like to ask for unanimous consent for the first, please. It's a bid authorizing bid number 3302 to McCartney Construction for culvert repair on Riverview Drive, and the amounts budgeted for $86,398.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I make a motion we move on this, please.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
My last order of new business is authorizing an agreement with Transportation South Incorporated for the purchase of 4 DART vehicles. These vehicles will be coming off ALDOT bid list. They're for $350,000, and we've got a federal match on this. Our part will be $50,082.16.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I move that we vote on, please.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any more new business? Okay, department reports, committees, boards. Chief Carroll?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Steve Carroll, the fire chief for the city of Gadsden. As many of the council members are aware, we do 3 primary charities during the year: the muscular dystrophy campaign, our cancer awareness campaign, but the one that's closest to our hearts is our Toys from Santa campaign that we raise for disadvantaged children, not only in Gadsden, for Etowah County. And we want to tell you how successful that campaign was this year. We will actually do this in conjunction also with the Salvation Army. We gave the Salvation Army $13,000 to help 300 children that they had, and we also took 225 children on ourselves to give them Christmas. So we were able to touch over 500 children this year in our Christmas campaign. That was including giving out 50 bicycles this year. So it was a great campaign this year. And I'd like to, while I've got to stand, to thank those that actually helped contribute to our campaign, that were the commercial industry here and some of the private clubs and different things that really helped us to meet that kind of a standard. Every year we have to raise over $20-something thousand to do that, because 100 of those children we took to Walmart and let them shop at $100 a piece. The rest of them, we had plenty of toys we were able to give, including red wagons and everything else to give to them. So it was a great campaign this year. But we'd like to have a special thanks to the Gadsden Mall, where we actually set up, and they allow us to take donations there. The Santa Claus Society, some of you may be members of that, I don't know, but they do a great fundraiser for us, and in fact they gave us over $3,500 themselves this year. The Willow Tree down here on the drive, Landcrafters, the Gadsden Country Club Duffers, the Red Knights Motorcycle Club, Keystone Bank, Teachers Credit Union, Family Savings Credit Union, Wind South Credit Union, Dennis Smote, which was an individual that came in and said, gave us $300 and said, our family decided we wanted to give our monies this year to disadvantaged children instead of giving gifts amongst ourselves this year. And told us if we needed any more to call him back. But the Dollar General, Team One Toyota provided 19 of the 50 bikes that we had this year to give away. And a Farrier, I don't know if that's exactly how you spell it, pronounce it, but that's as close as I can do. But the German parts place over here off of Brook Avenue in 77, they gave us 2 large boxes of toys that was the size of refrigerator crates. So they helped us out tremendously on our toy drive. But again, thank you all for supporting us, and the mayor for supporting us and allowing us to do this, because without y'all's support, we would not be able to raise this money and actually be out here and help these disadvantaged children out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Carroll. Do want to commend the fire department and Chief Carroll for each year taking on that initiative. They don't just do it, they do it and they commit a lot of energy and passion to it, so we definitely appreciate that. Remarks by the mayor and council. Mayor?
Yeah, thanks, Chief, for you and your guys, all you do. You know, there's a lot of nonprofits here in town, and they have events all through the years. And I can't tell you how many that I attend, but they raise money for a lot of different ones. Academy Sports gave the Boys Club, I think, around 25 new bicycles. The other day I went over and they had a little open house, but there's just a lot of events that people get to go and party or socialize or whatever, but the money goes to a lot of good charities we have. I want to piggyback a little bit on what I was talking about the school while going to parents. This was one of the first cities in the state to set up the Workforce Development Partnership. We have a great partnership with Gadsden State Community College. And Career Tech, I know you hear about it all the time, but you would be amazed how much good money you can make. Electrical, plumbing, CAD, which is computer-assisted drawing, heating and cooling, cosmetology. There's all kind of classes you can be taking in high school, and now you can even get dual enrollment. And we had a few students last year who actually graduated from Gadsden State Community College, and then 2 weeks later got their high school diploma. So you parents, you need to really check all that out. I tell this story, you probably heard it, but the plumber was doing a job for the doctor, and he got through, he gave the doctor the bill. And the doctor said, "My goodness, that's more than I make." And he said, "That's why I quit practicing medicine and started plumbing." So it's true. You can you can have a job, you can do this on the side, you can have your own business, but there's a lot of good jobs, and we have a lot of plants here that are expanding and adding people continuously, but you got to have a trained skill. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Toles?
No comment.
Councilman Eccles? No. Councilman Worthy?
Yes. I just want to announce that I will be having a community meeting at Carver Saturday, June the 9th at noon at the Carver Community Center. And I also want to talk about the parade, the Unity Parade on January 15th at 1 o'clock. If you would like to be in the parade, we're going to meet in the back parking lot of the YMCA and line up at 12:30. And go back to the education that the mayor and everybody was talking about. Education is the key. Our kids today, we don't have an excuse. Just go to school, get your education. And it's all kind of help. The library have all kind of tutoring programs that you can go to the public library and take advantage of. But we have to get the information out there to these kids. That's part of the problem, and to the parents. And the parents they have to help. Thank you.
Councilman Billingsley?
No.
I
Councilman
don't have
Cannon?
anything.
Councilman Reed?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to Chief Carroll's was talking about the children at Christmas, and they do a job that's unbelievable, no kidding. But I wanted to add to that upstairs, Billy Harris gave us a report on the Kiwanis Club. They did 40 this year. So everybody's getting involved, and it's great. It's just picking up every year and getting better and better. We always welcome young people here to our meetings. This morning, Curly DeRamus brought us 3, Terrence, Caden, and Malik. Malik, did I pronounce that correctly? The 3 of them sat there this morning and listened to everything we said. One time, Malik stood up, he looked at the ceiling. One time, I checked. Otherwise, they picked up, and we're glad to have y'all here. And Curly, thanks for bringing them. Okay? That's all.
All right, thank you. Thank you for recognizing that, Ben, and it is always good. It's good that he encourages his young people, his grandchildren, to be here, so we really appreciate that. Part of why I have just a little bit of an appetite for politics, because my grandfather made me be involved at some level. Yes, Kurt.
I want to say one thing, be the same chair,
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I don't know if y'all remember Joe Langston of ABC 3340, but I know Joe Langston because I was forced to sit there and watch the news. Yeah, I was forced to sit there and watch the news with Mr. Langston in his perfect hair back then. So so yeah, it's good to just you never know what may stick if you force kids to be involved and force them to be exposed. And it's to what the mayor was talking about. You've heard him often talk about how much of a proponent he is for career tech. And if you wonder why he's such a proponent for that, it's quite simple. In this day and age in particular, not every child is going to engage in a successful academic track that leads them to success through a college degree. Everybody's just not built for that. Everybody's just not made for that. Now, some are, but not everybody is. But there's an alternative, and it's the many career paths that are out there, and we need people. You know, right now we had a discussion not too long ago. We're at a deficit for electricians and plumbers, and HVAC specialists, and people who are proficient in electronics. I mean, there are a number of needs that are out there that don't involve going to college, just getting a certification, a license, and becoming proficient in that trade. So we just want to encourage parents. You don't have to be an expert parent. You don't have to. My parents. Every time my parents did my homework, I got a 0 on it. So you don't have to know how to do the homework. Yeah, they're gonna kill me for that one. But you don't have to know how to do the homework. You just have to be there to support those children and help them, and that's what's important. Be there to support them and help them. One of the last things, anyway, that I want to make mention of is last week we had a number of deaths over the holiday season. Of course, many of us, I think we mentioned Gene Harrell, who passed during the holiday season. We also mentioned Officer Mark Henderson's mother, who passed. But we also failed to mention, I think, Miss Hazel Oliver. And the reason I bring her up is, we recognize Miss Oliver. She was a prominent, past president, prominent member of the Gadsden Music Club. Many of you may remember the beautiful young ladies that came to one of our meetings with the nice hats on. Mrs. Oliver was a part of that group, and she actually presented that day. So do want to just recognize her. We lost her on last week, I believe it was. So do want to make mention of Ms. Oliver and send out our thoughts and prayers to her family, for sure. And she was a great community citizen and an example for all of us. Is there anything else? Okay, if there's nothing else, I entertain a motion that we adjourn.